Next to the bin with the teacher letter of recommendation forms, you will find a stack of transcript and counselor letter of rec request forms. You should also take one of these and complete it thoroughly. Here's an example on how to do that. Note that the form asks you to specify if you are applying to a school ED, EA, or RD. But what does that mean? Let's return to Dr. Boyle, Glenbrook North's coordinator of college counseling.
So when applying to a college, students will need to choose an application plan on the application. And what an application plan is defined as early decision, early action, single choice early action, or restricted early action, rolling admission, as well as regular admission. And all these plans are defined on the back of the transcript request form so that you will have that information as you go through this process. But in a sense, early decision is the one that I think gets a lot of talk because that is the one that has the commitment to it. If a student applies early decision to a college, typically by November 1st is the main deadline for ED applications. A student is telling a college that if you admit me, I will be committed to attend. It's a binding agreement. Whereas early action, also a November 1 deadline for the most part, that does not have a binding agreement to it. Those students applying early decision or early action typically hear of the decision by mid to late December. Single choice early action and restricted early action plans are very similar to the early action in a sense that they'll apply by November 1st, they'll hear by the middle to end of December. But in those plans, you are applying early to a particular college, but by checking that action plan, you are also telling the college that you're not applying early decision or early action to any other school, unless, of course, there's a caveat that you can still apply to public institutions under early action. Rolling admission simply means that there really isn't a deadline, or if there is, it's very late in the springtime. And once you apply, then you will hear from the decision within 2 to 3 weeks. And then regular admission is typically students are applying by a deadline of January 1st to January 15th, and then you don't hear of the decision until around the end of March. So again, as you're applying, you will need to choose one of these application action plans, and we've defined them on the back of the transcript request form that you have to turn into your counselor in order for us to send the transcript. So if you have any questions, as always, come down to my office or see your counselor and let us know if we can help you out in the application process.
You will then turn the form into your counselor. Here's Mr. O'Rourke's school counselor to explain the process.
Hi, I'm Mark O'Rourke. I'm one of the counselors here at GBN. I just want to talk a little bit about the process for requesting a high school transcript to be sent to colleges, as well as the process for requesting a counselor letter of recommendation. If you are going to be applying to a school that requires a high school transcript, you do need to make that request in writing to your counselor. We actually have a form which we use that provides us literally the permission to send your high school transcript to the institution or institutions that you request. We do ask that when making a request for your transcript, you allocate a minimum of 15 school days to meet with your counselor and that you make an appointment so that we know you're coming. The reason why we do ask for 15 school days is to ensure that there's ample time to process your request and to ensure that it's there by the posted deadline. In addition to that, if you are going to be needing a counselor letter of recommendation, we do ask that you provide us with ample time, a minimum of 15 school days, preferably longer if you know you're going to be needing a counselor letter of recommendation. And typically what we'll do is we'll ask that students make an appointment to meet with us, and then we'll sit down with that student and have a conversation about that letter. Often we'll pull out that Finding the Fit packet, which is completed in your junior year, and really we'll just use that as a conversation facilitator to ensure that we're covering all the information that we're going to be providing in that letter. Once we've had that meeting, we'll then confirm where and when that letter needs to be sent, and then we take care of it on our end.